Hello, today we are going to address the question, what does it mean to be an American? The core aspects of American culture are consumerism, materialism, and cancel culture, which is more widely known as mob mentality.
There was once a farmer who lived an modest life, but one day a corporation offered him a considerable amount of money so that they could expand their meatpacking industry. Reluctantly, the farmer agreed to aid the corporation. Little by little, the corporation built facilities for additional livestock. One day, there were 10 cows on the farm. Weeks later, there are now hundreds being transported to the farm. In a matter of months, the farmer was surrounded by cows. The corporation was profiting off the beef being produced. Now, all the farmer had left of his old life was a barn that had been on the property since day one. The farmer watched the cows being slaughtered from his home and saw how trucks would travel in and out of the facility, transporting the beef to who knows where. The beef could have ended up in the supermarket or on some rich man's plate. The farmer lost his individuality and he was now slave to the corporation. He sold his soul to the devil in the guise of becoming wealthy. His greed only contributed to the loss of his way of life and allowed for the conglomerate to devour him.
Similarly, in The Great Gatsby, Gatsby acquired affluence through hard work, but he let the wealth and materialism get in his head. Originally, he wanted to become wealthy to impress Daisy, but ultimately he became obsessed with the concept of being with Daisy, and he lost his original interest in her as an individual. There were two people, Reggie and Jonathan. Reggie had much wealth and influence, a celebrity of sorts. Jonathan was a recluse and a lesser-known individual in the public. They disliked each other, and one day, one of them decided to make an allegation about the other. People on the internet flocked on Reggie's side, completely disregarding the importance of research and objectivity. Jonathan received countless death threats and hate mail from the online community, and no matter how much they tried to prove their innocence, they had already lost in the court of public opinion. Reggie took advantage of people's ignorance, allowing them to achieve their ultimate goal, to destroy the public's view of Jonathan. The media portrayed Jonathan in a negative light on national television, ultimately staining what was left of their good name.
It was later found out that Jonathan was innocent, and all the accusations made against him were completely falsified. The media finally did their research, and through this, they were able to clear Jonathan's name. While this should have made a difference, people had already lost interest in the situation. Reggie got what he wanted, and the public had already ravaged Jonathan like a pack of wolves. In our books, The 57 Bus and Casher in the Rye, the main characters are forced to endure trials throughout the story that test their roles as Americans. Richard, one of the main characters from The 57 Bus, is stereotyped with violent African Americans, when in reality, he had no intention of harming the agender character Sasha. Mob mentality is one of the largest conflicts in the 57. People dismiss the audio and video evidence, and interrogators coaxed the word homophobic out of Richard. This led to the media feeding the rest of the population information that was stretched to make Richard look worse than what he actually was. The only idea that was spread was that Richard was a hateful criminal, and everybody jumped on the bus to give Richard an adult sentence without true insight on the issue. The character Moshi from Casher in the Rye can be associated with mob mentality because of his cultural and financial background. His parents are deaf and Jewish, which makes him the odd one in the group. This made him feel isolated, resulting in his reliance on drugs and alcohol to cope. This memoir reveals the horror of drug addiction and how it is also an underlying aspect of American culture. Rampant drug use is a prominent issue that has been overlooked by society in America. What does this have to do with being an American? Well, that's for you to decide.